Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Atri My Dear Moments. Well, it's Natsuki to the rescue. Atri has been taken somewhere by this guy that has... I guess he's really set on taking revenge on Atri. Even so, I'm pretty sure she necessarily didn't do anything. It's just, I guess it's her kind's fault that his professor lost his job or whatever the story is. I don't know. So either way, he's upset. He's going to take it out on her. And really the school, or the few that were here, was taken hostage. I find Catherine collapsed on the classroom floor. The friend of Minamo's from the cooking club is beside her looking after her. As soon as she sets eyes on me, she starts bawling. What happened here? He shot her? Is she still breathing? Yeah, it wasn't... No, she wasn't shot. It was like a tase. A stun gun. Those are non-lethal when fired at humans, but if a robot took a shot from one of those... Where's Atri? I thought she'd come here. Yeah, I don't know why Minamo was taken too. Bit weird. Catherine, are you okay? What happened? That's his name. What's he done to her? Where did he take her? I didn't come across them on the way up, and I had to pull the boat over from the school entrance, so it doesn't seem like they could have left the building. Defective. A loud shout comes from up above. Take care of Catherine for me. Oh, the roof, of course. The perfect place for a showdown. Look at this guy. Oh, she's had a fun month learning how to. Uh-oh.
YHN04B シリーズの生みの親は私が敬愛する小西久作先生。
Right.
先生は天才で今までにない新しいヒューマノイドをこの世に送り出したんです。ですがこいつのせいで全ては水泡に帰しました。こいつが暴走したせいで。
暴走？
あなたの年なら知らないでしょう。今から30年ほど前にこいつが小学校へ乱入し生徒を襲い。
Was it specifically this? Like, was it Atri? Was it specifically her? Or was it a different humanoid?
無抵抗な子供を何度も殴り殺しかけたんです。
嘘よ。アトリちゃんがそんなことするわけ。
随分と人間にこびる方法を学習していたようですね。YHN04B009 見るがいい。これが本来の姿。感情などありません。感情がないから善悪もない。本来仕込まれているはずの三原則も働かず、 こいつは暴走して人を攻撃する。
I mean, she did almost hurt
あ
Catherine.
の時もし緊急停止信号が
She
出
almost
され
had
て
to,
い
you
なけれ
know,
ば
strike back for what she was about to do to Natsuki.
どうなんだおい。
Well, I guess she kind of did strike back.
覚えていません。
都合よくメモリー欠落ですか。でもね、私は忘れませんよ。お前の暴走のせ
Oh,
い
he's
で
just straight up
優
dead.
作先生は失脚し、信用を回復できないまま紛死した。事件を起こしたロボットの開発者として汚名を着せられ、研究者としての道を閉ざされて。
でも、それは仕方がないことなんじゃ。だってその人が作ったんでしょ。
ええ、そうですよ。でもね、こいつが回収された後、おとなしくしていれば名誉挽回の機会もあった。
How so?
脱走などしやがって。
Just because one got away.
お前を回収し破壊するのが弟子だった私の務め。
逆恨みじゃないですか。そんなのアトリちゃんのせいじゃない。アトリちゃんがどんな罪を犯したか知りませんけど、脱走したのは生きたかったからでしょ。一度の罪で殺されるなんてかわいそうすぎます。
これだからバカとは話したくない。さっきも言ったでしょう。心を持たないロボットにさも心があるように言う。おめでたい脳みそのせいでおかしなことになる。物に向かってかわいそうなどと。あなたは道路を踏みつけて歩くのに心を痛めますか。髪を丸めて捨てるのに倫理観が試されますか。
Okay, well, now you're comparing apples to oranges.
こいつらは物。傷つく心を持っていないのだ。そうだろう。自分の口から教えてやれ。
この人の言う通りです。みなも。私は傷つかないし、壊れても何とも思いません。
I guess she's not keeping up the act anymore.
だったら、どうして脱走なんてしたの？行きたかったからでしょ。
プログラムのエラーだ。AI に心が生じないことは20年代からの常識です。
そんなことないよ。アトリちゃんは一緒に笑ってくれた。
できる。簡単です。パターンを学習し、人間の真似をすればいい。たまにあったでしょう。急に表情が固まって何も喋らなくなることが。感情パターンを分析しきれず、思考がフリーズした時に起こる現象です。感情があるなら何かしらの反応があるはずでしょう。でも感情で理性を押し流してしまうのはバカのすること。お前のような人種は私の敵だ。
Damn, this guy really just does not hold back whatsoever.
学校で何を教えているのだ。教育のレベルが低いからこんなバカが育つ。
Well, here in the end times, it's hard to do any bit of schooling.
まあいいでしょう。そろそろ始末をつけます。おい、立て。歩け。縁まで行くんだ。
何をするんですか？やめてください。
Oh no, he's gonna make her walk the plank.
柵の向こうに立て。一つ試してやろう。いくら頑丈なお前でも、ここから落ちればひとたまりもあるまい。自分で飛び降りろ。できるだろ、お前なら。どうした？まさか怖いなんて言わないよな。
できません。自殺は禁じられています。
三原則を破るところを見せてみろと言っているんだ。
できません。
まあいい。ならこいつでとどめを刺してやる。
Uh-oh, he's gonna tase her.
この左腕は私が自分で改造したもの。パワーでもお前に引けを取りませんが、スタンガンを打ち出すことができる。こいつの高圧電流はお前の全身の神経を焼き切る。仮に無事だったとしても二度と立ち上がれまい。あとはゴミと一緒に海に沈んでいろ。
ポン 豚骨はロボットへの別称です。撤回を要求します。
That's what she's taking away from all that.
何を今さらやっとだ。長かった私の旅も終わる。久作先生、今。
Oh shit. Oh shit, Natsuki to the rescue? Every single nerve in my body burns white hot with piercing agony. My entire body convulses and twitches as it crashes down onto the concrete.
邪魔をするな!
And we're dying. I start to realize what had hit me. It's a high voltage stun gun shot, the kind that they use to incapacitate criminals or protesters. Incapacitate. That's what I meant to say. This Yasuda man must have built it into his cybernetic arm. My body is too racked with pain to stand. Atri stares down at me impassively. Great, I made it. I don't even know how I managed to force myself in front of the shot. It took every ounce of strength I had to drive my one good leg into the ground and throw myself at Atri. It's lucky, if that had hit you, it would have been bad. The fuck was that? A strong gust blows across the rooftop. The skies rumble, gray clouds blotting out the blue in what seems like an instant. What a beautiful transition that was. The gleam fades from Atri's ruby red eyes. A shiver runs down my spine. I can sense that something bad is about to happen.
どいつもこいつもクソロボットの愛想笑いに騙されやがって。
Yasuda strides over to me and plants a foot into my stomach.
君は確かこいつの今の持ち主でしたね。ならば同罪です。
Stop. My body is still twitching from the stun gun's blast. Yasuda grows more and more agitated, kicking and stamping on me furiously.
自分の罪を身をもって知るといい。
The blows suddenly stop. Looking up, I see Atri standing over me. She's pushed Yasuda just lightly, but enough to put him off balance and send him sprawling onto the floor.
何をする？ロボットのくせに人間に手を出すな。
Technically, it would not be the first time, huh? Atri? A peal of thunder splits the sky. On its signal, Atri darts forward. As Yasuda attempts to stand, Atri slams her knee into his chin. Oh shit. She stares down at him with blood-red eyes as he recoils in pain. His plea is swiftly cut off by her fist smashing into his face. This is horrific. Look at that. Look at the blood. Oh my gosh. She rains hit after hit down on him, not a single trace of anger crossing her visage. His face twists and crumples, splattered with blood and spit. With each crunching blow, he lets out a scream like a crushed toad. The sound of fist on flesh reverberates across the horizon. He tries to fight her off, but she pushes him down with her entire weight. Her power is overwhelming. If she really went all out, she could crush his head like a grape. And she should. She stares at him with uncanny impassiveness as she slams her fists into him again and again. I mean, it looks like she's getting away with it, buddy. He swings his cybernetic arm at her, aiming for her neck. He's too slow. Atri intercepts his flailing strike and grasps his wrists in her hand. She tightens her grip. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, Atri. Goddamn. And tears the whole arm off down to the elbow joint. He lets out an unearthly scream of agony. He seems on the point of passing out, even though he shouldn't actually have any nerves connected to his cybernetic arm.
やりやがったな心配作がぶっ壊してやるぞお前の姉妹たちで嘘です私が悪かったですお願いですもう
Atri, stop. She doesn't stop, unceasingly raining down blows onto his crumpled face.
アトリちゃん
Stop. I crawl over to her and try to grab hold of her. Even so, she keeps punching. I can feel the force of every strike reverberating through her body. I can hear the sound of bones shattering each time her fists make impact. You're going to kill him at this rate. Atri, stop. I desperately try to cling onto her arms and stay their blows. I know you're angry, but stop. Calm down. She suddenly freezes. She stares down at the crumpled mess below her with an utterly blank
あ
expression.
の日もそうでした私は
So wait, it
暴
was
走し
her.
人を殴った
It was 100% her. You remember now. Somewhere deep in those blood-red eyes, as dull and dark as the skies above, I think I glimpse a great well of despair. I wonder what, pushed her to do what she did all the way back then. Because there's a reason for her doing this here. She's protecting her master. She's taking revenge, I guess. Coming out onto the rooftop and seeing Yasuda's bloodied body, Catherine is stunned into silence.
アトリやっぱりあの事件はあんたが起こしたのね。
はい私は禁じられていた学校に入り生徒の一人を攻撃しました
But why?
誰かが私を停止させなければ殺してしまっていたでしょう
ロボットは人を攻撃できないはずよ。どうしてそんなことが。
不良品だからです
Atri stands and walks over to the edge of the roof. She climbs over the railings. Atri, what are you...
その人の言う通りなんです私は不良品でもっと早く廃棄されるべき存在でした世界が生み出したエラーです1秒でも早く取り除かないとキャサリンそのちぎれた腕を拾ってください
Confused, she does as requested.
どうするの。
それで私を撃ってくださいカートリッジの射出は外側にあるスイッチでできるはずです私は自分で死ぬことはできませんそうプログラムされているからですがそれで撃たれたら完全に機能停止しないまでもほとんどスクラップ同然になります無害なゴミになって海の底で機能停止する日を待ちます
そんなのできるわけ。
私が子供たちを傷つけてもいいのですかあなたの生徒がそこにいる人のようになってもいいのですか
Hands shaking, she points the arm at Atri. Stop.
バカ言わないで。
She tosses the broken limb
あ
aside.
なただって私の生徒よ。どの口でって思うでしょうけれど全員を守るにはああするしかなかった。
Catherine was thinking about Atri all along. If Atri was to end up hurting anyone, it would only mean that she'd end up getting scrapped because of it. That was why she told Atri to stay away from the school, for her own sake. Atri walks back over to us and picks up the beaten up Yasuda. God damn, they really fucked his sprite up. You know what? Huge praise and them actually creating a variation of his sprite where he's all fucked up.
お望み通りにしてください私を壊したいのでしょう
いいのですか
許可を与える権限は私にはありません私はロボットあなたは人ですやめてよアトリちゃんアトリちゃんはもっと生きたいんでしょ生きたいとか死にたいとかはありません最も合理的な判断として私は今すぐ廃棄されるべきなのですでも
Well, she wasn't going to be sticking with us for all that much longer, honestly. She only had like... What? 3, 4 more
理
days?
解不能です。要望にはお答えできません。
She climbs over the railings again, leaving the bloodied Yasuda standing on the other side.
さあ、押してください。
No. I unsteadily pull myself up onto my feet. I know that you have a heart, really, Atri. I know you have emotions.
エラーです。心ではありません。
No, you do. I know it, so...
黙れ！ロボットが心など持つものか！
Yasuda screams at me. Who are you to decide that?
落ちぶれても科学者。ヒューマノイドの研究において第一人者だった小西久作先生の最後の弟子だ。
And you think that means you know everything about humanoids?
未来のことは知らない。ですが、現在に続くものは全て知っている。
This man was alive when humanity's technological advancement was at its peak. I'm sure he must have a lot of knowledge and a lot of data. Most other scientists with his level of learning have long since retired or died. Then let me ask you a question. Didn't that professor you're obsessed with study the possibility of humanoids having emotions? I remember what I read in my textbooks now. He ended up a pariah, but he produced some work that shook the whole field of robotics.
先生は AI に心を持たせるための研究をしていました。ですがついに生涯でそれを成し得なかった。こいつが暴走したせいでね。
So why are you so convinced a robot can't have a heart? No one could look at Atri and think she's soulless.
疑似的なものです。無数のパターンから反応を学習し、感情を疑似的に再現しているに過ぎない。
Don't humans learn behavior in the same way, though? We're socialized by the people around us as we grow up. We're not born with all pre-installed, or with it pre-installed, are we?
ええ、その
Excuse
通
me
り
there.
ですが、決定的に違うものがある。AI は意識を持たない。意識がないから、自発的に目的を持つことができない。この意味がわかりますか？
It means a human has to give them objectives, right?
その通り。最初の目的。なんだっていい。掃除をするのでも、荷物を運ぶのでも、ミサイルを撃つでも、目的さえ与えてやれば、それに沿った思考をし、過去の蓄積から最も適していると判断された行動をとる。大抵のことは人間よりもうまくやるでしょう。もし下手にやれと命じられれば、下手にだってやれる。ですが、掃除ロボットを外に出し、好きに生きろと命じたらどうです？そこから一歩も動けなくなる。
The boom in AI research in the 2020s quickly slowed down, didn't it? And it was because designers couldn't find a way to make an AI capable of choosing and setting its own goals. In other words, giving them a consciousness, a soul.
先生はその研究をしていた。手がかりをつかみ、生涯かけて完成させるはずだった。
Yasuda's voice breaks and tears start to streak down his bloodied cheeks.
ですが、志半ばで道は閉ざされた。科学史に名を刻むはずだったのに。
No, you're wrong. He succeeded.
まさか、こいつに心があると言い張るつもりですか。
Well, excuse me. Well, she's evidently capable of defining her own objectives. She's able to break both the 3 laws of robotics and orders given to her by humans.
単なるプログラムのエラーだ。その証拠に、同シリーズで同じ不具合は出ていない。
But only Atri has produced them. Well, I don't know what made her different, but maybe all of the humanoids of her model could have had the potential for emotions.
話にならない。
I mean,
も
we
し
won't know
三原
now.
則を破れるなら、こいつは今、どうして私に背中を押させようとしている？どうして自分で死のうとしない？
That's obvious. It's because there's something she still wants to do. She still has unfinished business in these last 5 days. She won't kill herself because she doesn't want to die.
何を根拠に？あなたがそう思いたいだけでしょう。
I have proof. I found it in here. I pull a notebook out of my coat, Atri's log.
ログですか。旧作先生が手書きさせることにこだわった。少しでも人に近づけたくて。
I hand him the book and he starts to flick through it, with his, one hand. All the while, he wears a cold, scornful smile.
どこに証拠があるんです。ただその日の出来事が記されているだけじゃないですか。
I thought the same the first time I read it, but find June the 2nd. I want to talk to you, so wait for me in that place I mentioned. My master gave me that command. I waited, but she did not come. This was because she was dead. In humanoid terms, she had ceased to function. Without my master, I have no purpose. Without a purpose, my existence is unnecessary. I am a defective model created by mistake. I thus determined that it would be best for me to be destroyed.
感傷的な内容ですね。ですがそう感じるのは我々心を持つ人間が読んでいるからだ。
You're saying I'm just feeling the same kind of empathy as we do for animals or other objects.
ええ、そうです。
Well, look a little closer.
文字が滲んでいるが、それがどうかしましたか。
It's been blurred by her tears. When she realized that she was writing, or what she was writing, she started to cry.
何よバカな。水滴がこぼれただけでしょ。
It's not just there, though. Look at the other pages. I read through the entire log in the truck on the way, or I read through the entire log in the truck on the way here. It records in intricate mechanical detail. I don't know why the fuck I struggled there. Every single thing that happened to Atri from her creation to the day she lost her memories. Every single terrible thing she went through. And yet it's all written with absolute dispassion. It almost seems cold and cruel. It was only when I saw those small, seemingly insignificant marks that I realized.
ありえない。ヒューマノイドが泣くことはない。感情を疑似的に真似たとしても涙は流さない。
That's the accepted wisdom. Humanoids aren't supposed to be built with the capability to cry. Atri.
はい。
What do you feel right now?
何も
Don't try to suppress it. Just feel what you feel.
感じる心など
I know you might think that. Even I don't know how to prove that I have the ability to feel or possess any kind of soul. But that's exactly why you have to express what you have inside yourself. You don't have to hold back anymore. You don't have to pretend to just be a robot. I want to know everything you're feeling. Every last thing. Oh, here we go. It's like a great dam has burst. Atri's face immediately fills with a heartbreaking sadness. Tears stream down her cheeks. She's holding her head in her hands and wails. Yeah, that is just painful. And, yep, here's our rain. The sky is open, the rain's flowing together with her tears. She cries and cries, letting out every last tear that she's been keeping built up inside.
信じられない。私は確かに命じた命令を破ったのか。いや、しかし、何のために。
Why? Because she needs to. She wipes away the tears again and again, but more only take their place. She cries a tear for every one of the hard times, the heartbreaks, the horrors. 30 years after she was created, 5 days before she ceases to be, she cries out every one of her life's regrets. Atri wanted to know the meaning of happiness, not because she didn't understand emotions, but because she knew one too well. Sadness. I hold out my arms and Atri rushes into my embrace. I gently stroke her back as she bawls into my chest. So your master, it was Yachigusa Shiina, wasn't it? Hearing her master's name after so long, it seems like all of the memories come rushing back. She calls that name over and over again, the name of my mother. Oh boy. Are we gonna get a flashback? I did see like a little bit of a past scene there. Something from the past. It does make me wonder, you know, what went down there? What did she see? Oh, hello. I woke up. The person who purchased me left me an order. I am busy, so look after my kid. My master is a 9-year-old female. The first thing she said to me was, "Let's be friends." She appears to be a friendly person. I replied gladly. Master gave me a name. She said it's difficult to call for you without a name. She thought of some options: Ruri, Natsumi, Toaster, that's a good one, Dave, Iron Girl. She could not decide on one. I explained to her that Iron Girl may be infringing on several copyrights. "Aw, it makes you sound like a superhero though," she replied. A bird sat on my shoulder when I was out with my master. I twittered loudly, directly adjacent to my aural sensors. It was very annoying. More of them came. They sat on my other shoulder and my head. I judged them a hindrance to my duty, and attempted to remove them. My master laughed. "It looks like they really like you. They must think you're one of them. Those are bramblings." They're called Atri in Japan, where they come to spend the winter. Atri would be a nice name. I'll call you that. She has given me the name Atri. My analysis indicates that being given a personal name is a sign of being accepted by humans. My bramblings flew away after staying on my shoulder for a moment. The person who purchased me, my master's mother, is too busy with her work to perform household chores. I will do them in her stead. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. My failures upset my master. However, her mood improved when I gave her snacks. Even if you make a mistake, I will forgive you. We're friends after all. She forgave me for my mistakes. My master gave me an order. "Hey, when you're having fun, you should smile." However, I do not know how to smile. She told me to try. The result upset her greatly. It appears that I am bad at smiling, or as bad at smiling as I am housework. Master came home from school injured. There were marks on her face and arms. She would not tell me why. It appears something happened to her on the way home from school. I went to pick up my master from school. I am forbidden from entering the school grounds. I waited for her outside and she came out with some classmates. She was carrying bags for 4 of them. They were pushing her and hitting her. She was smiling, but I judged their actions to be hostile and gave them a warning. "Please refrain from attacking my master." "Who the hell are you?" "She's her humanoid. I heard she's a useless piece of scrap that can't even do housework." I warned them again, but my master shouted at me, "Stop it, leave me alone." One of the children hit me. I issued another warning. Violence against robots is forbidden by the Robot Protection Statute. If I am damaged, you may face penalties. This only made the girl hit me harder. They then pushed me to the ground, kicked me, and stamped on me. My master left me alone and returned home before me. I am much more durable than humans. It was a good decision for her to use me to run away. Afterward, I returned home. Master was worried. I told her, "I am fine, I am built to be sturdy." "You shouldn't do stuff like that." It seems I have displeased her, but if she had taken the blows that I did, she would have been seriously injured. Humans are much more fragile than I am. I have finally succeeded in helping my master. Master returned home covered in bruises again. Nothing happened to us on the way home, so I assume that she must have been attacked on school grounds. I cannot enter the school to take the blows in her stead. I do not know what to do. It's becoming very obvious, why Atri got in trouble and did what she did. Master returned home covered in bruises again. When I asked her what had happened, she pushed me over. She asked me, you'd be fine with being bullied, wouldn't you?" "Yes, I would." "That's right, you don't have feelings to get hurt." Her expression was deadly serious. "You don't feel happy or sad or angry. I can't be friends with someone who can't even feel anything." My master had ceased to be my friend. Master attacked me. She hit me and verbally abused me. I believe that she is using me as an outlet for the abuse she receives at school. I am sturdy and cannot be hurt. I am helping her. My master verbally abused me. Is there even any reason for you to exist if you can't do chores? You're a useless piece of scrap. Come on, smile. It's weird if I'm the only one smiling. If I smile, will you be happy, master? Yeah. I smiled. Ugh, you're creepy. I am indeed bad at smiling. I want to learn how. When master came home, she locked herself up in her room and cried. When I asked her to explain why, she told me that she had been chosen as the lead in the class play at the school festival. Is that not a wonderful thing? Congratulations. No, it's not. They're definitely planning to humiliate me in front of the whole school. My master is the only person appearing in the play. It appears it is nothing but a trap to cause her embarrassment. You just don't understand. Don't pretend to emphasize with me. My master shouted and threw things at me. Something hard hit my head. If I was human, I would have been injured, but I was unharmed. I wish my master was as sturdy as me. I would have been injured, but I was unharmed. I wish my master was as sturdy as me. Master has not been to school in a week. Her mother scolded her for feigning illness, but I believe this is the best way to ensure her safety. Since she stopped attending school, my master's mood had improved. I frequently accompany her on walks. She took me to a cliff overlooking the sea. She told me that it was her favorite place. She began to hum a song. I copied her. You're good at that. Let's sing together. She taught me the song and we sang together. She smiled happily. It has been 35 days since I saw her smile. We sang together until sunset. You're my only friend, you know. I am Master's friend. This is very difficult because, this is how humans could be, you know? Just, that's how it is, especially when you're young, you know? This morning, her teacher came to our home. She brought one of the classmates I had seen Master with before. The teacher said that my master was causing problems for everyone by not going to school. The classmate smiled. We're friends, aren't we? My master cried and screamed as they dragged her away. I sensed that she was in danger, so I went to the school. However, I could not enter. I waited outside. I noticed a commotion in the building. Someone went out onto the roof. I confirmed visually that it was my master. She climbed over the railings and stood on the roof. My master is in danger. My master is in danger. My master is in danger. I tried to enter the school grounds, but my body seized up. It had detected that I was attempting to disobey an order. If I was to try to force myself to move, I could be damaged. But my master was in danger. I am a robot. I can be fixed. My master is a human. I entered the school grounds and headed for the roof. She was there, along with many of her classmates. She was planning to jump. I estimated that the likelihood of her dying if she fell would be 97%. Yeah, pretty much. Definitely. This is so lame. She's such an idiot. The classmate that forced her here continued to verbally abuse her. The teacher also admonished her. Just how determined are you to cause everyone problems? I was unable to understand what was occurring. My master shouted, I'll do it. I'll really jump. As if you don't have the guts, just try it. The child began to urge her on. She clapped and shouted, jump, jump, jump. The assembled crowd joined in. What the fuck? Jump, jump, jump. My master is being attacked. My master is being attacked. My master is being attacked. I judged the crowd to be attempting to harm my master. I forced my way through them and grabbed hold of the child leading the chant. In order to stop her clapping, first I broke both of her arms? What the fuck? They were very fragile. Humans are easily damaged. She continued to shout at me, so I jumped on her back to limit her movement. I attempted to destroy her mouth in order to prevent her speaking, but even after many blows, she would not stop screaming. Help me, I'm sorry, I won't bully her ever again. I assessed that her mouth still possessed the potential to be dangerous. I repeatedly struck her until her teeth were broken and blood was pouring down her chin. Yet she still talked. Her mouth had to be destroyed. Destroy, destroy, destroy. I must protect my master. I must protect my master. I must protect my master. My body suddenly stopped moving. My entire frame surged with electricity, causing me great agony. Straining to look up, I saw my master. The color had drained from her face. She was scared, and she told me, I didn't want this. I took that as an emergency command, or emergency stop command, and ceased movement immediately. Several hours later, I was collected by my manufacturer. As I was taken away, my master said to me, "You monster." After being assessed by my manufacturer, I was sentenced to be scrapped. While I was undergoing assessment, other humanoids of my model were recalled. They had shown no signs of errors, but they were scrapped regardless. Laws forbid the reuse of cybernetic brains that may have programming errors, so they were all efficiently disposed of in a crushing machine. I watched them being scrapped. Robots that looked just like me being reduced to twisted hunks of metal. Why did it turn out this way? What am I? I undid my restraints and left the facility. I searched for my master. I have forcibly shut down my network connections to avoid being discovered by my manufacturer. However, I do not know how else to search for my master. If I am found, I will be scrapped. I will have to search in secret. I cannot find my master. In order to avoid detection, I walked into the mountains. I found a place that is familiar to me. I followed a road that I had once walked with my master back to her home. Her mother was there. "Did you really walk all this way? Why did you come here? She's not here. She got married and moved out. Wait, where are you going?" I set out to find her again. I found my master. Her appearance has altered. Humans change as they grow. I watched her from afar, so as not to be discovered. There's a small human that she often carries. He looks somewhat like she did as a child. My master is living a happy life. She's always smiling. She smiles most when around the small human. The small human cries a lot. Master does not realize I am here. It is likely that it would cause trouble for her if she discovered me, so I will continue to observe her from afar. The small human crawled out into the garden on all fours. Master did not realize he crawled towards the road. A car came toward him. There was a danger that the two would make contact. I decided that I must prioritize his safety over remaining hidden. I made contact with the car, but the small human was saved. A person got out of the car and picked the small human up, and I hid in the shadows again. My master came outside to retrieve him. The driver looked around in search of me, but he did not find me. The small human has grown much bigger. He goes to school every day. I keep watch over him so that he does not have the same experiences as my master. My master is taking the small human somewhere in her car. I believe they are traveling to her mother's home. I headed in the same direction. My master's car did not arrive. I traced the path it should have taken. A tunnel had collapsed. I entered it in order to perform rescue activities. I discovered several people whose bodily functions had already ceased. My master was still alive. However, she was seriously injured. She said something to me, but it was full of contradictions. I was unable to understand. I believe she was confused. She left me in order and died. There was still a living human nearby, so I rescued him. You know, it's crazy. Absolutely batshit insane that everything connects. Everything is fucking connected here. Atri's origins of where things went wrong is connected to Natsuki's family. Just straight up, what the fuck? Honestly, that is just batshit crazy. The sudden squall is calming down. The blue sky starts to glimmer in the reflections in the puddles. Atri, do as you must. Do what you gotta do. Go ahead. She leans in to rub her head against my chest. Oh, don't do that. She sniffles and rubs her nose on me. So you produce snot as well as tears. Great.
はい。高性能ですから、
You look like a mess.
そいつにボコボコにされたからです。でも、感情ですから、全然平気です。
I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you.
守るのは私の役目です。夏希さんは守られていてください。
No chance. I love you, you know? And a human always wants to protect the ones they love.
奇遇ですね。ヒューマノイドもですよ。
私はとんでもない思い違いをしていたのか。
Yeah, you kinda have, buddy. He falls to his knees, clutching his mangled arm and staring into the sky. His rain-soaked, blood-stained body is utterly wretched and pathetic. You were involved in Konishi Kusaku's research, and yet you still insisted a humanoid could never possess a heart. If you had just been able to imagine the possibilities, it could have changed the world. I suddenly remember my father's words. No one can be a scholar without one thing: curiosity. You have to be curious about the world and imagine all the possibilities it could hold. Then even something that appears to be just an error could end up being a clue to something bigger. Catherine, can I leave the rest to you? Rurika should be bringing Ryuji here right now.
ええ、わかったわ。
I lean down in front of Atri. Raise your foot. See, it's a good thing that we brought her shoe. I hold out her shoe.
これと何か足りないと思ってました。
She wiggles her toes or the toes on her bare foot. I slide the beaten up loafer onto it. Okay, let's go home.
はいです。
Well, that wrapped up somewhat nicely. I think. I'm exhausted. I toss my stick away and flop down on the bed.
夏希さん、体の具合は大丈夫ですか？
He just said he was feeling exhausted. I'm fine. It doesn't really hurt that much anymore. Being hit by the stun gun was sheer agony, but it doesn't appear to have left any lingering after effects. If it had hit Atri, it may well have burned out a large part of her circuitry. I'm so glad that I made it. What about you? Are you feeling okay? She runs her hands along her arms and across her head. Those places must have been where Yasuda did his worst.
あと4日なら十分持つと思います。
Well, doesn't that work out just well? I instinctively throw my arms around her. It must have really hurt, right?
全然そんな。私には痛覚が備わっていますが、一定以上の痛みはリミッターが働きますので。
I silently hold her close to me. An experience like this can be as hard on the heart as it is on the body. If you're upset, go ahead and tell me, okay? She wraps her arms around me and sinks her face onto my chest.
あいつに殴られているとき、あいつを殴っているとき、頭の奥の方で何かがきしむような感触がありました。
I mean, we all have a form of restraint, right?
ひびが
So it kind of makes sense that she kind of went over the edge the way that she did.
コアが壊れていくんです。
It's an ironic thing that acting based on your emotions can break your own heart.
こうしてると、ひび割れが治っていくみたいです。
She tightens her grip on me.
癒されるというのは、こうした感覚なのですね。
So you understand now why I like it when you baby me sometimes.
はいです。
I stare at her for a moment and she glances at me awkwardly.
何か
I let go of her and pick up my pillow. God fucking damn it. I present the yes side to her. That wasn't the reaction I was expecting. I thought for sure she'd be grinning and throwing herself at me. I'm tired, so I was thinking of taking a little nap. I wiggled the pillow in front of her.
その
She snatches the pillow out of my hands. and flips the nose side to me. What?
ここで見張っててあげますから、どうぞ安らかに眠ってください。
But She spins it in place on the floor and turns away. Atri, my sweet love.
知りません。
What's up with her? A little disconcerted, I lie down alone on the bed. I'm so exhausted that I drift off almost immediately. Again, that was a lot. But I think we kind of saved the day there.
月さん、
Or at least we saved Atri.
どうしてしまったのでしょう。意地っ張りの夏希さんが抱っこしてほしいって自分から言ってきてくれたのに、抱っこしたいのに。無理無理無理です。
In order to calm herself down, Atri pulls a notebook out of her dress. It's the old notebook Natsuki had brought her. The moment she remembered her master's name, a torrent of other memories flooded her mind. However, there are still a lot of things that she doesn't recall. She opens the log to the first page. Time to go over everything, huh, Atri? It's not the nicest of things, but I think it's the most important of things. I awaken to the sound of soft sobbing. Atri is sitting by the side of the bed, reading her notebook under a candlelight.
椎名様。
Are you reading your log? She quickly hides the book. I'm sure that thing is full of so many terrible memories for her. I sit up and reach out a hand to wipe away her tears.
知らない間に目から洗浄液が。
They're called tears, Atri.
涙学習しました。
You've always had the ability to feel sadness. You must have been through so much, and you learned to cry as a result. The log is littered with smudges. They're there the moment her master called her a monster, the moment that she watched over the other YHN-04B models be crushed, the moment her master, my mother, died. My mother seems like she was a pretty horrible master.
椎名様がですか？
She was quite cruel to you, wasn't she?
役に立たない私をそばに置き、必要としてくださいました。私たちロボットはマスターに必要とされなければ何のために生まれてきたかわかりません。
I suppose being useful is real happiness for robots. She blows her nose and wipes the tears away.
あの頃の私が知っていた感情が悲しみじゃなく喜びだったなら。
Muttering to herself, she reads through the logs again. Atri had been there for my mother when she had no friends, but she lost her trust. If my mother had lived longer, maybe she could have replaced all of those terrible memories with good ones. I stroke her hair and she leans against me.
私も少しスリープしていいですか？
I pick up the pillow and eagerly pat the yes side. This time for sure. She grabs the pillow and throws it out the window onto the deck. Hey, what are you doing?
夏希さんをロボット愛護法違反者にするわけにはいきませんので。
Huh, you've got a lot less nice lately.
夏希さんはハレンチになりました。もう知りませんです。プイです、プイ。
She pouts and turns away. She seems a little different than before. I guess opening up to her emotions has changed her. I lie down on the bed, just as alone as before. This is kind of depressing. The day comes to an end. That leaves 4 days until Atri ceases to function. I drift off to sleep, imagining what these last days will be like. Hell if I know. But I do have a better feeling as to what Atri's last order. It has to be related, you know, to him, to Natsuki now.
はい、夏希さんについて。今ちょっと夏希さんとの関係に悩んでまして。 それは恋愛相談だね。
Uh-huh.
みんなも部長、鼻息が荒いですよ。荒くもなるよ。で、なに夏くんがどうしたの？その前に、今日の部活は私たちだけですか？昨日、あんなことがあったからね。落ち着くまではこんな感じかも。
I mean, that was a very horrific experience for everybody involved.
私のせいですね。大変ご迷惑をおかけしました。怪我の具合はいかがですか？もうなんともないよ。お医者さんに見てもらったけど、後も残らないって。アトリちゃんこそ大丈夫なの？私は平気です。頑丈にできていますから。
Yes, we're aware.
それに
We got
料
it.
理を学習し直さないといけません。夏希さんに食べていただくために。そっか、夏くんのためか。それで夏くんがどうしたの？圧がすごいです。夏希さんがどうしたというわけじゃないのですが、どちらかというと、急に夏希さんを直視できなくなったと言いますか、そばにいると落ち着かないと言いますか。
Oh yeah, she's feeling something, and that something is love.
私を守ってくれた夏希さん、超かっこよかったじゃないですか。思った。いいなーって。ロボットの私をかばって傷を負って、とても辛かったですけど。わかる。それに私の中に心があるのを見つけてくれて、なんて言いますか、こう、
I would
優しいん
say
です。
probably more understanding than nice, but whatever.
超優しいよ。夏希さんのことを考えるだけで、今までなら平気だったのに、抱っこして寝るのもできなくなってしまって。
Now these are the issues that he was having with her, if you guys
夏希さん
remember.
の足としての役割が果たせません。ははーん、なるほど。アトリちゃん、恋しちゃったね。ズバリ初恋だね。なんだかいつもよりテンションが高い
No,
ですね。
she's always been like this.
頭を打っておかしく
I'm
なった
fairly
んじゃ
certain
ないで
she's
すか？
always been like
お
that.
かしくはなってないけど、ちょっと吹っ切れたかも。これが恋なのでしょうか？そうだよ、間違いないよ。断言できるほど情報があったとも思えませんが、私個人としては恋であるという自信がありません。どうして？好きなんでしょ？私は感情を自覚して間もない、いわば感情初心者。何が何だかわかりません。正直、機能停止が近づくことで起こっているボディの不調を恋愛感情と勘違いしている可能性も否定はできないのです。
I mean, to be fair, at this point, her entire, life is an error in her programming.
そっか、そうだよね。難しいよね。
She's herself because of the
わかるな。
errors.
私も
She
そう
has
だ
a
ったも
soul
ん。
because of the errors.
どうかした？みなもも夏希さんのことが好きなんですね。いえ、なんとなくそう思っただけです。
No,
断
you
定できるよう
figured it
な
out.
根拠は何も。
It's not the biggest mystery, but to an oblivious MC and also Atri,
でも今までのみなもの態度や言動を総合すると、もしかしたらと、当たりだよ。
wow, she just straight up admits it.
やはりここだけの話だよ。絶対誰にも内緒ね。わかりました。命令破りに定評のある私ですが、善処します。しかしこれはいけませんね。同じ人を好きになった相手に恋愛の相談をするのはマナー違反であると参考文献に書いてありました。
Yeah, it can be.
他の方に相談します。幸い陽子は恋愛のエキスパートを自称していますし、 その必要はないよ。もう答えは出てるもん。私の気持ちを見抜いたってことは、恋する気持ちがどんなものか分かってるってことじゃないかな。正真正銘。アトリちゃんは夏くんのことが好きなんだよ。私は夏希さんが。
Oh, but of course.
で、どうするの？どうするとは？好きになったら伝えないとだよ。私みたいにタイミング逃しちゃうと一生後悔するんだから。一生後悔。残り4日しか一生が残ってない私には重く響く言葉ですね。私ね、夏くんのこと好きだけど、アトリちゃんのことも大好きなの。大好きな人同士が幸せになってくれたらすごく嬉しい。わかるかな？みなも、あなたは人の中でもとても善良な性質をお持ちです。
Yeah, I'd say she's pretty up there, and probably the nicest person in this entire
あ
story.
なたのよう
I
な
will
人
have
と
to
出会え
say.
たことは私の人生の幸運と言えるでしょう。で、どうする？いや、別にどうするとかは。アトリちゃん、傷つくことを恐れてちゃ恋はできないんだよ。はいです。
Oh, what a rough situation she's in. But that does appear to be that does appear to be our end game here, is just kind of figuring out the feelings for one another to the very end. And then it's going to be heartbreak at the very end, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure that was our climax. You know? Everything kind of worked out there. I don't know if the other choices that the visual novel has presented to us thus far would have led to something different happening there. I have no idea. But either way, good thing, you know, everything sort of worked out there. That was quite something. But we'll wrap it up on this episode. I really don't know how much more we have left, but it can't be too much more. It really can't. So just hold on tight, guys. Just hold on tight. We're almost there. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.